sequences is a sequence of numbers. Y'all know what a number sequence is? Yes. It's a pattern in which numbers kind of follow along from one number to the next, right? Okay, there's all kinds of number sequences. All right, you can go by twos, or you can go by fives, or there's something called the Fibonacci sequence that gets the next number by adding the two previous numbers. So it's actually like 0, 1, 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 3 is 5, 3 plus 5 is 8, 5 plus 8 is 13, 8 plus 13 is 21, and it goes on. That's called the Fibonacci sequence. So that one's kind of hard to pick up a pattern, right? So a lot of sequences, we can kind of look and see from one number to the next what pattern's happening, okay? Well, that's going to be easy to do today because it's going to be arithmetic sequences. Don't say arithmetic. Arithmetic sequence. An arithmetic sequence is a sequence in which the difference between any two consecutive numbers is constant, okay? So you might want to write in parentheses. I'll make sure my thing's writing today. You want to add or subtract the same number every time. Okay? So in an arithmetic sequence, we're going to add or subtract the same number to get to the next number. So you're either always going to add 2 or you're always going to subtract 14.
So that one is not.
No, this is definitely not arithmetic. Okay? Because you're adding a different number every time. Right? So arithmetic sequence is you add or subtract the same number every time. Now, it's not multiplying the same number every time or dividing the same number every time. That's a different kind of series called a geometric series, which we'll learn about later on, okay, when we start doing exponential functions. But an arithmetic sequence, you're going to add the same amount every time. All right. In an arithmetic sequence, you have something called a common difference. The common difference is basically the number that's being added or subtracted every time. Okay? The number that's being added or subtracted every time is the common difference. We call it D. So variable D is going to be the number that's being added or subtracted every time. Now, if you're adding every time, the common difference is going to be a positive number. If you're subtracting every time, what do you think the common difference is going to be? A negative number. All right, so if the numbers are going down from left to right, you're going to be a negative number. Now, keep in mind that negatives go backwards, right? All right, so let's see if we can figure out the pattern here. -7, -5, -3, -1. What looks like it's happening every time here? Yeah, they're adding 2, right? Every single time. So D is +2. That's it. D is +2. The number that's being added or subtracted every time is the common difference. If it's added, it's positive. Subtracted is negative.
So D stands for difference.
Yes. D is difference. All right, here's some examples. First, they ask us, is the sequence an arithmetic sequence? So that means, is the same number being either added or subtracted every time? If it's not added or subtracted every time the same number, then it's not arithmetic. And if it is, then we want to find the common difference. So write down example 1. And y'all know those ... dots mean those numbers keep going, right? The sequence keeps going. All right, do y'all have example 1 written down? What do you add or subtract to get from 1 to 5? You add 4. Whoops. What do you divide 5 to 9? You're adding 4. And 9 to 13, you're still adding 4. So is this an arithmetic sequence? Yes. And the difference is 4. So all you're saying is yes or no. If you're adding or subtracting the same thing every time, it's a yes. And the common difference is the number that's being added or subtracted. Yeah, no. Right.
Then we're gonna plug into an equation.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna plug in equations.
Yeah. 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 Okay. So number two. Number two. How do you get from 1 to 3? Add 2. What about 3 to 5? What about 5 to 8? Is this one arithmetic then? No, not arithmetic because they swap what they were adding. What I think they might continue to do with this one is add 3 again, and then add 4, and then add 4, and then add 5, and add 5, right? But since it's not adding the same thing every time, then it's not arithmetic. Yeah.
That's it.
All right, number 3. 8642.
Okay, so then after we factor the DCF.
Do we see a pattern in 8642? What are they doing? Yeah, they're subtracting 2, and they're doing it every time, right? It works out every time, doesn't it? So, yes, it's arithmetic. And what's the common difference? Negative 2. Is that okay with everybody? Mm-hmm. All right, number 4 says negative 5, negative 8, negative 11, negative 14. Do we see a pattern? What are they doing? Yeah, remember negatives go backwards, right? So those numbers are going down. So, yes, it's arithmetic, and the common difference is negative 3. Is everybody getting what we're doing here? Yes or no? Thumbs up, thumbs down. All right. Number 5. 5, 10, 20, 40. What do you think? Is it arithmetic?
Yes.
I see a pattern. I multiply by 2 every time, right? Does that make it arithmetic? No. Arithmetic, you're not multiplying by the same number every time. You have to add or subtract the same number every time, right? So this one adds 5. This one adds 10. Then it adds 20. So I see what it's doing. It's doubling the amount every time, but it's not adding. So no, this is not arithmetic. This would be what we call geometric. Okay? Y'all try the easiest you try problem ever, please. I think Davis could do this. I know he could. John probably could himself. My little math nerd, I'm ready. Bless the Lord. 2 math teachers. I don't have a chance. Do not have a chance. All right, is number 6 arithmetic?
Yes.
Yes. What's the common difference? Yes, the difference is -1. Raise your hand if you got D is -1 and a yes. Any questions? Next thing. They're going to start a sequence and we have to continue it. Right? Well, this is easy. Right? We figure out the common difference, we find the pattern, and we just continue it on with the next 3 numbers or however many blanks they give us. Right? That's it. So we're just going to find the next 3 numbers in the sequence. This is like elementary work. Right? Y'all did these before. I don't know when you did them, but you did them sometime. I remember doing them in elementary school. That was a long time ago. 9, 13, 17, 21. What's the common difference going on here? They're adding 4. So after 21, I add 4 and get what? 25. And then I add 4 and get 29 and add 4 and get what? 33. Any questions there? Do y'all see a pattern here? Then they start ending with the same number. Y'all see that? Gosh, math is cool. So cool. Math is so cool. All right, number 8. What? No. 5, 2, -1, -4. Going down by 3 every time, isn't it? Subtracting 3. Y'all agree? So the D is -3. So what's going to be our next term? -7. Then what? Then what? Yeah. You okay with that? Like, why can't we do this all year, Miss Isbell? That one has a star. Y'all try it. Then we would never get anywhere near finishing our state standards, which are 5 pages long. I know, like seriously. This is only a part of one standard. I know.
Did you read all that?
I've read it, highlighted it. This is what, unit 2?
-9 multiplied equals 20. All right, we get 20 and 10 times 2. You get the factor of the correct term.
7.
10, 11.
13.
Some are short, some are longer. Unit 1 is our longest.
Oh, that's good.
Everybody know middle factor? Who's split the middle term? What number is the middle term?
All right. -8, -2, +4, 10. What's the common difference? Adding 6. So what's next? And then, oop, it's not writing. There it goes. It was delayed. Uh-oh. I bet my video quit. Something. Or OneNote started working. Somebody else said they had problems yesterday. 22 in the end. 28. Good job. Okay. Here's some variables. Hi, Miss Sam.
After this is their multiple, okay, about trinomials.
I need to put this up.
I don't know. Let's just make it a surprise.
I like the path.
Okay. So it's highlighted on my paper, which means what?
It's important.
It's important, and you probably need to memorize it. By when's your test? No, your test is tomorrow. It's Friday, yeah. But if you haven't memorized by tomorrow, you'll be good. But let's end the int. Int. Yep. All right. So, yes, we see a pattern when we're doing arithmetic sequence, and we can keep going, adding 3 till Jesus comes back or whatever. But what if you want to know the 200th term of a sequence? A sub n. Okay, now let's talk about just a second for talk about scripts and stuff. Okay, y'all know what a subscript is? It's when something is below the actual letter on the typed line. Superscripts are like an exponent. Subscript is below it. This is a subscript. Okay, A sub n equals D, parentheses, n minus 1 plus A1. And I'm about to explain what they all mean. Just copy it.
What the heck is it with the aces?
Right here, A1 equals the first term. A sub 1 equals the first term. N is the term number. Okay, so we're going to use this formula to like find a certain term in a sequence. Because like I said, I don't want to do 200 terms to find out the 200th term. I don't want to be adding 200 times to something. Okay? Especially if you have to go down to the negatives, right? All right. So, the school system is calling me. I bet it's Silver Elementary because they called me. All right. So, the 200th term, I don't want to be sitting there adding 200 times. So, that's why we have a formula. All right? So, n is just the number term you want. Okay? N is whatever term you want. You might want the 15th term or the 20th term or whatever. Okay? So to find any term, that's what N is. What do you think D is? The common difference. And A sub 1 is the first term. So whatever number is down here in this little subscript is what term you're looking for. Does that make sense? Whatever term is in the subscript is what number you're looking for. Okay, so this is the formula we're going to follow to find a certain term. Now, we use the formula first to write a rule. Okay, so when we use our formula, that's called writing a rule. I'm going to write the formula over here because I'm going to scroll for a minute and it will no longer be on the screen. A sub n equals d times n minus 1 plus a1. All right, and I'll set my pen somewhere. Okay, write a rule for the nth term. So that means we're going to write a formula, and then we're going to plug it in and find the 19th term. Y'all see that 19 in the little subscript? Okay, so first you have to write an equation using this formula, and then you plug in 19 for n. Okay, so first we're going to write the rule. Okay, so if it says write the rule, we're not going to keep on adding 6 19 times. That's not following directions. That's not high level algebra 1. Okay, you got to follow directions. We want an equation for the rule. So plug in what we know. The rule is going to be a sub n equals d. What's the common difference? Yeah, they're adding 6 every time. Do y'all agree? Okay. And A1 is the first number in that sequence. What's the first number they gave me in the sequence? 7. Okay, so I'm going to use D is 6 and A1 is 7. So A sub n equals D is 6 times n minus 1 plus A1 is 7. So you plug in your D and you plug in your A1. You leave A sub n alone. That means whatever the nth term is. So you're going to have an equation with n's in it. All right, you plug in your D, you plug in your A1, and you're going to have an equation with n's in it. Okay, so we're going to simplify that. A sub n equals, what do we got to do here? Distribute, absolutely. What's 6 times n? 6n. And what's 6 times negative 1? Negative 6. And then copy the plus 7. Is there anything I can do to simplify? Like terms, right? So A sub n equals 6n plus 1. That is the rule. Okay? You plug in your D, you plug in your A1, and then you have an equation with just n's in it. That's the rule. That's part of the answer. Okay? That's the rule part of the answer. So your rule is writing an equation where you just have an n in it. Then we want to find, let me get my blue. Then we want to find A sub 19, which means the 19th term. Okay? So I'm going to use my new rule that I just highlighted, and I'm going to say A sub 19 equals 6 times n. Well, my n is 19 plus 1. Y'all see what I'm doing? Last, I'll plug 19 in for my n's. I have to get the equation first with n's in it, and then I find whatever term they ask me by plugging that number in for the n. Okay? So y'all help me out. What's 6 times 19? I don't even know.
114.
It's 114. So a sub 19 equals 114 plus 1. And what's 114 plus 1? 115. So the 19th term in this sequence will be 115. So if they add 6 19 times, you'll get to 115. So that's what you're trying to do. Plug in the D in A1 to get an equation with an N in it. You're not going to plug any in right here for the rule. And then you plug in in, turn around, Taylor, and then you can get your result for whatever term you're looking for. Okay? Y'all just got to get used to the variables. That's it. That's it. D in A1, write your rule. You're going to have an N in it, simplify, and then plug in what you're trying to find. All right, look at number 11. I need 2 things before I write my rule. What are they? The formula, yeah. Formula, I got it. I need the common difference. What's the common difference on this one? Yeah, so it's going to be a -4 for my common difference, and my A1 is what? The first term, which is 30. Now with me? That's the only 2 things I need to start with, plus knowing the formula. Okay, so to find my rule, I'm going to plug in D right here and A1 right here and then simplify. Does that make sense? D right here and A1 here and then simplify. So A sub n equals D. What's my D? -4 parentheses n minus 1. That part's always going to be right there. Plus my A1 is 30. So all I plugged in is D and A1. Y'all okay with that? All right, now we simplify, right? So copy your A sub n. And what's -4 times n? -4. What's -4 times -1? +4. I forgot my n, didn't I? -4n plus 4 plus 30. And what's my last thing I have to do to simplify? Yeah, I do my like terms. 4 plus 30. So A sub n equals -4n plus what? 34. There's my rule. So any questions about how we got the rule? Okay. What term are they wanting us to find? The 15th term, right? So now that I have my rule, I'm going to use this as my formula now. And I'm going to plug in 15 for all my n's. So A sub 15 equals -4 times 15 plus 34. Okay, so whatever you're trying to find, you plug in for n. Does that make sense? So what's -4 times 15? -60 plus 34. What's -60 plus 34? -26. So my 15th term in this sequence will be -26. Well, does it make sense that it's going to be a negative number? Well, I'm going down 4 every time after that, right? So yeah, I'm eventually going to get in the negatives, right? If I do it 15 times. Does that make sense?
So you got 2 answers.
Yes. There are 2 instructions. Write the rule, which is this, the equation with n's in it, and then find a certain term. Okay? Got it? You had 2 things in the directions. Write the rule and then find the nth term. All right, let's do it again. Do it again. Bigger numbers, it's okay. How do we get good at something, y'all? We just gotta practice. Just gotta practice. All right, what 2 things do I need for my sequence? Common difference and my A1, right? What's the common difference, y'all? -9. Y'all agree it's going down by 9 every time? So -9. And what's the first term in my sequence? 101. So is everybody okay with those? All right, so now I'll plug in my D right here and my A1 right there. And simplify it in terms of n. So A sub n equals what's D? -9, bless you, times n minus 1 plus what's A1? 101. Now what? Yeah, distribute. What's -9 times n? -9n. What's -9 times -1? +9 plus 101. And what's my last step?
You gotta add 101, and how much is 102?
Yeah, -9n plus 110. Very good. So there's my rule. That's part of my answer. So is everybody okay with how we got the rule? Swap colors. All right, so now we're finding what term? A sub 10, so the 10th term, right? So A sub 10, I plug 10 for all my n's in the rule, is -9 times 10 plus 110. And then I do multiplying. What's -9 times 10? -90 plus 110 is what? +20. So my 10th term, if I keep subtracting 9 every time to that sequence, when I get to the 10th term, it'll be at 20. It's not so bad, is it? It's not so bad. You're just plugging in two things. We're going to do one more together, and you guys are going to try one. And then we'll do word problems. Y'all got to earn your honor status. I mean, come on. I mean, you didn't think it was going to be easy. Yeah.
Let them get smart. What's something?
That's the goal. That's the goal, right? That's the goal. Now be careful bumping the wall. All right. What two things do I need to write the rule? Common difference and A1. All right. What's the common difference here? +3 or -3? Yeah, it's going up by 3. Good. What's my A1? It's not steak sauce. Good steaks don't need it anyway. All right. So then I plug them into the formula. I plug in D and A1, right? So A sub n equals what number? 3 times plus. Can I just write -11 instead of plus -11? Y'all see the difference there? If this number's negative, yeah, plus negative is the same thing as minus, isn't it? And now just make it more simplified. Just make sure y'all understand that sign change, right? Plus and negative means minus. All right, now what? Distribute it, yes. So A sub n equals what? Well, that's a goofy 3. 3n minus 3 minus 11. I know, it's got like 3 humps instead of 2. All right, now what? Not 14. -14. A sub n equals 3n minus 14. There's my rule. There's my rule. Okay, and I want to find what term? 20th. So A sub 20 equals 3 times 20 minus 14. What's 3 times 20? 60 minus 14 is what? 50, not 56, 46. Good. I probably misheard you. All right, so any questions on how we get the rule and then that term? All right, I want y'all to try this. Yeah? Technically, yes. But if you do like I do with those f of x stuff, you just drag it down to the answer. I'm okay with that too. Yeah. Y'all try these two. 2 of them. 2 you tries.
No, a lot of you too.
Oh my gosh, we're lying. Take it to your mom. She'll smack you and send you back. So write the rule, and plug it in and find that number. It says 12th term and the 18th term. We can do both of them, please. All right, check them with somebody if you finish. Yeah. Okay. How we doing? Good? 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 Alright, y'all help me with number 14, pretty please. Do y'all agree that the common difference is positive 2 and that the A1 is negative 2? So I'm going to say A sub n equals what goes in for D? Times n minus 1 plus what? So I'm just going to write minus 2. Is that okay with everybody to start with? And then I keep going and I distribute. 2 times n is 2 times negative 1. And then minus 2. And those are like terms. So A sub n equals 2n minus 4. That's our rule, right? And I want to find the 12th term, right? So A sub 12 equals 2 times 12 minus 4. What's 2 times 12? 24 minus 4 is 20. Raise your hand if you got 20 for the 12th term on number 14. Are there any questions about number 14? Fix it. Look at it. Any questions? Any questions? All right. All right, so do y'all agree on number 15 that D is negative 5 and A1 is negative 16? It's going down by 5. All right, so A sub n equals what's D? Negative 5 times n minus 1 plus negative 16, so I'm going to put minus 16. Y'all okay with that? And then I distribute. A sub n equals negative 5n plus 5 minus 16. Everybody okay there? Then what? Like terms. So A sub n equals negative 5n minus 11. Minus 11. There's my rule. I'm scared over my space. I want to find the 18th term, right? So A sub 18 equals negative 5 times 18 minus 11. What's negative 5 times 18? Negative 90 minus 11 is negative 101. Raise your hand if you got negative 101 from A sub 18. Good job. All right. Yes. It probably ain't putting out much anyway, but go ahead. Whatever you need. No, it's fine. No, I get you. Somebody sprayed something in my, I guess, 5th block the other day, and I don't do no body spray in my class. That's for the locker room and the back. All right. Can't do it. Can't do it. Okay. Can y'all just watch and participate? Yes. Y'all think y'all can do it if you watch and participate? Now, if you need to write it down like my husband, if he don't write it down, he don't remember it. All right. 2 word problems. Where's you going? Well, you don't want to copy the words, but just watch. Just watch. I can just watch. Or you can just copy the math if you want to. Okay? All right. You visit the Grand Canyon and you drop a penny from the edge of a cliff. Boom. The distance the penny will fall is 16 feet for the first second, 48 feet for the second, 80 feet for the third second, and so on. So let me write down that pattern. 16 the first second, then what? 48, and then 80. So there's our pattern. Y'all see it? And then it keeps on going until it hits the bottom of the canyon, which is going to be a long way. All right. Write a formula to represent this sequence. Well, we're going to use that formula. A sub n equals d times n minus 1 plus a1. Y'all with me? Now we need to find the d and the a1, right? What's the common difference here? Is there a common difference? Y'all agree they're adding 32 every time? And what's a1? Yeah, after the first feet or the first second it's dropped, it starts at 16 feet down, right? It's traveled 16 feet. So we fill that in. A sub n equals d 32 times n minus 1 plus 16. Y'all help me out. Distributing, right? 32n minus 2 plus 16. And then a sub n equals 32n minus 16. That's the formula, isn't it? That's what I wanted us to find on part A. Y'all agree? Okay, that's the formula to find a sequence. There we go. B says, how far will the penny have traveled after 6 seconds? That would be the sixth term, right? Right? Y'all see that? Because the first second it was at 16, second at 48, third at 80, and then so on. Right? So after 6 seconds, that will be A sub 6. Y'all agree? A sub 6. No, it won't. We're at the Grand Canyon. We miles down there. Yeah. So 32 times 6 minus 16. What's 32 times 6? Y'all can help me. Y'all have calculators. It's how much? Yeah, 192 minus 16 is what? 176 what? It says how far has it traveled? 176 what? Feet. Yeah. So after 6 seconds, it's traveled 176 feet. So y'all see kind of how the word problems will go on that? They'll probably break it up, ask you to find a formula, and then find it after whatever. All right. One more. I don't know. It needs some force. Okay. Okay. The total bank loan for Sarah's new car is $15,265. Okay? Okay. The bank automatically withdraws $295.80 each month to pay for the car. Write a formula to represent this sequence. Now, I need two things. I need a D and an A1. Now, how much is going to be taken off the balance every month? Am I going to be adding that much to the balance or am I taking it away? Hopefully, if I'm making payments, that bank is taking that money off my total balance, what I owe, right? So that's going to be a negative $295.80 is my common difference, right? The question is, what is A1? Actually, A1 is after you've made the first payment.
So it's $295.
Okay. Yes, you subtract that one time. Okay. So A1 is going to be after we make the first payment. So it's going to be $15,265 minus $295.80. So A1 is $14,969.20. Y'all see that? So A1 is going to be after the first payment. Does that make sense? The balance after the first. Yes. Yes. Because that's what that common difference does to us, being a negative. So y'all see that? Y'all see where I got A1 from? I make one payment. Okay. So then we fill it in to make the formula. A sub n equals what's D? Times what? N minus 1 plus $14,969.80. Aren't y'all glad I'm doing this, not you? 20 cents. Yes. That 20 cents is going to make a difference. All right, now what do I do mathematically? Distribute. So that's going to be negative $295.80 in. A negative times a negative is a positive $295.80 plus $14,969.20. Well, isn't that going to be back to where I started? Oh, yeah. So A sub n equals negative $295.80 n plus 15,265. That's my formula. Okay? Now, y'all going to have to help me do some math. What will the balance of the loan be after 2 years? Well, how often are we making payments? Every month. So how many months have we paid after 2 years? 24 months.
Should be 824.
Yes. Do y'all see why it's 24 and not 2? Because we're making a monthly payment, not a yearly payment. Does that make sense? All right. So there we go. A sub 24. So it's negative 295.80 times 24 plus 15,265. Y'all help me multiply that, please, so we can make sure we're accurate. Negative 295.80 cents times 30.
99.
Oh, I multiplied times 32 instead of 24. Sorry. $7,099.20. Negative, sorry. Plus the total. I cannot copy. 265. And y'all add that original balance, please.
8,065.8.
70.
Okay. Still got here.
I can't type today or write. Oh, I didn't do negative. Jeez, man. What'd y'all get? Tell me specifically. 65.80. So after 2 years, that's how much they still owe. Does that make sense? Any questions? All right, good job today, guys. That is the end of notes for today.